Tough one today. Last thing you want to do is there's only one team in the country that gets to win the last game of the year, and unfortunately ran out of gas today. Had opportunities. It comes down to ball security. You can't turn the ball over 3 times and can't give up explosive plays late in the game if you anticipate or want to have an opportunity to win. I tell you what, though, looking back over the course of the spring, we have very few seniors. A couple of them, this was their last football game. Told those guys, told the football team how much I appreciated them, how much I loved them. 99% of our guys are going to be back in the fall. That 1% is a big 1%. Those guys have been here 4 or 5 years, put in a lot of time and effort. I'm just irritated and upset that we couldn't give them a little bit more, one more game, one more week to be a Bison. Unfortunate. But, this hopefully will make us stronger. We'll have to have a great offseason, get healthy, and start looking towards fall of 21. Questions?
Coach, your first question is from Jeff Kolpak.
Matt, quite the number of swings in this game. How did you handle it as a coach? What did you see out there?
Well, 3 turnovers. 2 of them led to touchdowns. 2 of them led to short fields. Was tough sledding for our defense at times. When we forced them to have to drive the field, we did a really good job of limiting their plays, getting off the field. Special teams, we knew we had an advantage there. We felt like we could take advantage of it. We put in a ton of time on special teams on a weekly basis. We got some great returners. We got kids that are bought into that side of the football or the schemes. And, it was up, down. We had a lead. We just needed to get one more stop. We needed 2 more downs. And unfortunately, we gave up a big play that allowed them to get in the end zone and just ran out of time late.
What was it about the punt block that you saw specifically?
They had a 2-man shield. We thought we could overload it. We knew where their protection was going to go. We knew where the fan side and the downside was. Just comes, watching film, paying attention to the details.
Why did your offense struggle, you think, today?
Well, I think they were improved. I think they're a solid football team. Not going to take anything away from Sam Houston and Coach Keeler. They did a nice job today. We just had a tough time getting into sync. And then for the majority of the third quarter, I don't know if they were on the field much at all when he scored 2 touchdowns on special teams. We needed to get the ball back to him, I think, more often, have more touches. Just never felt like we gelled today. I don't know why that is. We had an extra day of practice. It's unfortunate, but we'll go back to the drawing board and continue to get better.
You have a comment on your explosive nature of the third quarter? That's pretty rare, a kickoff and a punt return.
Well, I think just like I said before, Jeff, we put an unusual large amount of time into our special teams. It is part of the game. We often talk within our program, and I do to the media, about complementary football, flipping the field, making short fields for the offense, pinning an opponent deep in their own territory. And those are the expectations we have. A lot of our young players, you go back in my 7-8 years I've been here, that's where they've earned their stripes. That's where they've cut their teeth, is on special teams, and we put a high priority on execution.
And finally, the atmosphere here, it seemed to me like that was the first real football excitement, fan-friendly atmosphere. What do you think?
It was great to be outside. The weather was outstanding today. They had a great atmosphere, and it was tremendous to play in and to play in the quarterfinals here today.
Thank you.
Your next question is from Devin Fry at KVLY.
Coach, you mentioned the turnover issues. What does it say about this group of guys that they were still in it right till the end? Not a lot of teams are going to be in it till the end when you have that kind of turnover margin. Kind of what's it say about this group that they were still in it?
Well, I think it says a bunch. I don't think we have any quit in us. I think we're always continuing to try to finish. We pay attention to the details. We had a lot of young men that grew up this year, right before, going all the way back to July, all the way to May, almost a full year with us. I'm pleased. Am I disappointed we lost today? Of course I am. I'm frustrated. We need to do a better job as coaches. I need to do a better job as a head football coach. But, man, I can't take anything away from these young men, and especially our young guys that bought in and jumped in feet first and became Bison over the course of the last year.
What's the feeling been for you over the course of this whole spring, not just with the young guys, but watching the team overall grow, especially with everything they've had to deal with off the field? What's this spring been like for you?
I'm super excited about being a Bison. I'm super excited about our football team. I told them all just minutes ago that I love every single one of them. I hate that the seniors had to go out like this when we were so close and had opportunities. But those guys have been extremely valuable to our program.
Oh yeah, Coach. Just asking about how much of a motivator this could be heading into the fall. Fall just a couple months away. Has there been any looking ahead to that yet?
Nope, we just got done with the game. All we were concerned about was the spring, continuing to get better. But having lived through it again, and back in 2016, having our season-ending loss early, I anticipate this will sting for a while, but we'll get back to work and we'll continue to get better. I look forward to seeing our guys use this as a motivator as we look at fall 21.
Your next question is from Eric Peterson at the Forum.
Coach, final 2 drives, you get it inside the 20 twice, 3 points. I mean, from what you could tell, what was happening near the end of those drives, or why you weren't able to get touchdowns?
Well, I think we got off schedule. And we got behind the sticks. You saw on the last drive, I think it was 4th and long. And now, that drive, of course, we had to score a touchdown when you're down by 4. So, scoring a field goal would have done us no good. But, they did a good job in the red zone. They had shown all year that they were a good red zone team, and we can't get in those long yardage situations and put that stress on a young quarterback at this time.
I think the last drive, 3rd and 2, you had the mishandled snap. Just the way Lukey was running it, we thought you might want to go to a more power game, or just kind of describe that sequence.
Well, it was we tried to get, when you play single high defense, the extra quarterback players in the post, we wanted to take advantage of it. We've seen people do it to us. If it's not mishandled, it's a first down. And I don't know if it was nerves or what it was, but he made the right read. The defensive end closed. It was going to be him and the safety, and I think he was going to get the necessary yardage.
And then you just talked about the explosive play. They had the long pass play before the go-ahead touchdown, but it seemed like it was pretty good coverage. I mean, what did you kind of see on that 3rd and 10 that they got?
Well, they motioned the tight end over. They got the gun near. They max protect. We tried to bring some pressure. They were internal pressure. They picked it up. It probably wasn't the best pressure for max protection at the time. I think Jaden Price was right where he needed to be. It's probably a catch that's determined based on inches. And it is what it is. Would I wish we could go back and play something different? Of course I would have. But if we'd have made a big play at that time, we'd have looked like geniuses.
Thank you.
Yep.
Jackson Roberts from KVRR.
How do you kind of assess the season Cam had when he came in right in the middle?
I think he did a really good job. I think he continued to learn. There's a reason why we didn't throw him into the mix early. He just didn't have enough football under his belt. Didn't have enough NDSU football under his belt. Remember, when kids come to NDSU, I tell them 3 things when I sit in the head coach's room or head coach's office and talk to them in recruiting. Every little bit of information that you receive is going to be presented in a different manner that you heard in high school. Every coverage is different. Every route concept is probably named something different. It takes time to be able to absorb all that information. The game's going to move at a different pace, and it's going to be more physical than you ever anticipated. And you're probably like, what do you mean quarterback? He has to run more. We demand more out of our players than he probably experienced at the high school level. It takes time to be able to play quarterback in our system. He didn't have the luxury of playing behind Trey Lance all year or anyone else. He needed to learn. He did a great job. He was in the office every day, spent an unusual large amount of time for a young guy, created his own process, created his own manner in which he was going to prepare. I'm looking forward to him getting better over the course of the summer, getting healthy, and continuing to compete at that spot. But I told Cam in the locker room, I got his back. I love the fact that he's a Bison, and I love the fact that he's a competitor.
Thank you.
Dom Izzo from WDAY.
Matt, can you explain Cam's struggles today? What was Sam Houston throwing at him that really had him in fits today?
Well, I just played man coverage. And when you throw behind people in man coverage, you're going to get a chance to get a pick. You got to put it out in front of him. You got to make it. You got to throw it only where our receivers are going to be. And and then I think they got some pressure on him at different times. But it wasn't – they did what we thought they would. We just got to execute at a higher level. And believe me, if there's anyone in the locker room that is crushed, it's Cam Miller right now. So I'm not going to sit in here and take shots at an 18-year-old who did more than maybe what most 18-year-olds could have in this situation.
Describe what happened with Michael Tutsi. Do you know what happened there in the calf?
I saw he had a bag of ice on his wrist, so I'm anticipating it's a wrist injury of some sort.
This whole spring, I know it's still too fresh, but can you just kind of look back at what the last 4 or 5 months have been like?
Dom, I think that's a question for a different time right now. You don't have enough tape and film to let me go into my dissertation on what I think of the spring.
Logan, can you explain, or what was it like with all the change of emotion out there today?
You know, we had a lot of belief up until the very end, you know, so it's always shocking. I'm still kind of speechless, don't know how to comprehend what's going on. This is new for me, new for a lot of people. So, I mean, there was a lot of emotions going on throughout the entire game, and we just didn't come out on top.
Describe the punt block.
Coach Morgan had it dialed up all week. That came out in a little bit different formation. I was supposed to actually go split the shield, but I saw there was an opening and thought, why not? So I was able to get outside the shield and then get my hand down there for the block. I was really hoping I could get it for 6, though.
Okay, thank you.
Eric Peterson from the forum.
Yeah, Logan, the first time in your career you've ended your season not with a win. I mean, like you said, it's shocking. Just kind of describe that emotion if you can for me.
It's just shock, I guess, like you said. Next season starts tomorrow or right now, however you want to look at it. I know coaches are going to be breaking down film, doing a lot of different stuff. As athletes, we got to rest, recover, and then get back at the weight room, running, whatever it takes to be better next season. And the season's going to be coming around quick. So, I mean, you just got to move forward.
You know, how frustrating was some of the stuff early in the game? You get the punt block and it rolls out of the end zone. I think you almost had a back sack, tackled for a safety on the next play. Then I think they also muffed a punt that, you know, you guys just, did you feel like there was just some left opportunities with some of those early miscues?
Absolutely. I think we had our own destiny in front of us. We could just go out there and grab it, but we didn't execute when we needed to. So I think that's one thing that we have to learn and regroup on, is that we have to be able to make the plays when we're given an opportunity. It's not just going to fall into our hands.
Thank you.
Dom Izzo from WDAY.
Logan, you kind of mentioned it, but now just thinking you have less than 3 months to fall camp starts. Can you comment on that and just say, okay, we got to turn around and get ready to go for the fall?
I think I kind of like it. I mean, after having this setback right now, I know a lot of guys are going to be ready to go to start back up as quick as possible. I mean, obviously we'd like to continue. We would have liked to continue to go forward through the playoff, but I think it would have been a lot harder for us to wait a full off season after a loss like this. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity, and hopefully we can all get better as a team and move forward.
Is there a way, I know it's still fresh, but to think back of what the last 5 months have been like playing in the spring and playing here on the second day of May?
It's definitely different. I know I spoke about it earlier in the season. The weather played a factor today. I mean, on both sides of the ball, guys were cramping up, sweating a lot more. Typically than the end of the season we'd be feeling. It's just a weird experience throughout the whole 5 months, but at the same time, it brought a sense of normalcy back to our lives. You know, practicing every day, getting into the weight room twice a week, and going to class, some guys in person. So it was different, but I think it was a step in the right direction.
Is there something Sam Houston did, anything specifically you saw today that was really giving you fits, at least early on in the game, offensively?
I mean, there were some unusuals, like we always see in the first drive or so, teams going through their opening script, defensively at least. I think what it came down to is us not making the plays when they were there. I don't think there was anything too flashy that we missed. We just didn't execute when we had to.
I know you were out on the field here for a bit. Describe, I guess, that emotion and walking off the field, what that was like.
I mean, it's just something we don't really experience a lot here at NDSU. I'm not like to, boast or anything, but I mean, we pride ourselves on winning. We pride ourselves on being the best. So, I mean, when we come up short like that, I mean, it's just a different, kind of emotion that runs through us. We don't, get that often, and we compete our, tails off every single play. So, I mean, obviously when you come up short, I mean, it hits deep.
What was the frustration, or can you describe what Sam Houston was doing that just prevented you guys from being able to pass the ball down the field?
I think it was just, execution on our side. I definitely think we had, holes, things that we, could have taken advantage of. I just think, as a whole, as an offense, we could have just executed a lot better. And, that would have, helped us throughout the entire game.
How much do you think your kick returns spark things? They just scored a touchdown and they're up 15, and you do that. And what was it like on the bench when you went after you scored?
That's definitely huge. It was definitely huge. Me, scoring, and then the next drive, Braylon, scoring. I think, it's having big plays like that when you're kind of at a standstill in a game. That it definitely sparks a lot of liveliness and emotion into everyone on the field. Gets us back to rally together and kind of give us that idea that we got this. We are who we are. We're the Bison. We're never counted out. So I definitely think that sparked a lot of emotion and kind of helped us rally together a little bit.
Thanks, Christian.
Your next question is from Eric Peterson at the Forum. Eric?
Christian, on that second to last drive, you guys ended up settling for a field goal. Did you feel that was maybe a missed? Obviously, you want to score a touchdown and everything. But do you feel that was a missed opportunity to get the touchdown lead and maybe secure a little more momentum late in the game?
I definitely feel obviously we want to end every drive with a touchdown. We don't want to settle for anything less. So I definitely think it's just a missed opportunity as a whole for us on offense. But myself, I want to be the best I can be for my teammates. I want to be the best I can be for the coaches. So if I ever have an opportunity to make a play and I don't make that play, I definitely kind of hold that to myself. And I definitely think that could have made more of some of the opportunities that I was given, and just the offense as a whole.
Just describe that last drive. You get it inside the 20 late and have a chance to score. And was it execution, or is there anything you can put your finger on that last drive where you had the chance to take the lead back?
Like I said before, it's just execution as a whole, as an offense. There's no pointing fingers when you're on the field with 11 guys. At the end of the day, we trust in each other. We rely on, each and every one of us to make a play. It starts with the O-lineman, obviously the quarterback, the running backs, getting their blocks, making runs. It's just, we just could have executed a lot better. And, we just didn't on that last drive.
See, Braylon, can you describe what went into that punt return and what you saw?
We had been studying film all week. We had practiced that look where they have an offset wing on my left side. It would be a rugby punt, so I was expecting it to go to my left side, but it was an awkward kick, and I got a lucky bounce, and then I had great blocking downfield, so it was a pretty easy score.
That's your first one, right? Because I talked to you earlier in the season. I think you always wanted to return one to the house.
Yeah. I told you earlier this season I was going to get one, and eventually it finally happened. Thankful to my teammates. JP was handling the role very well ahead of me, but he was cramping today, so I just went and stepped in for him.
You're from Texas. Describe the atmosphere out here today.
The atmosphere was very live. It was a lot of energy. I had a lot of family here, around 20 folks, and so it was a great time seeing all my people and being back home.
Okay, thank you.
Dom Izzo from WDAY.
Braylon, anything you saw that why the offense was struggling so much to be able to throw the ball and move the ball downfield?
Not necessarily. It was more execution. The blame doesn't fall on one person. We're 11 guys out there, so there's no pointing fingers. We just all have to execute better, and we just didn't really execute our game plan to the Bison standard. Is pretty much what happened.
You described now. Literally, you're gonna rest for a little bit and have to restart up to get ready for the fall. Can you describe that you don't have a whole lot of time to get ready for the fall in August?
It doesn't matter how much time, we're going to be ready.
But can you just look back at the last few months and how bizarre this was to play from January to May and what that experience has been like?
The experience was, it's football season. Regardless of the time, the place, or the weather, we're going to be ready to go when we strap those helmets on, So, it really wasn't that bizarre, in my opinion. Coming from Texas, we play year-round football, so I'm kind of used to it.
Probably the biggest stage so far of your career, national TV. Can you just describe what it was like today for you?
I didn't think it was any different, honestly. We treat every game the same, and Yeah, I knew that we were playing on ESPN, but I don't think that had any impact on how we played. But we just got to tip our caps to Sam Houston's defense. They manned us up and they did a really good job. I missed quite a few throws, and I'll be the one to take the blame. That's fine. But I think moving on into next fall, we just got to get better. We got to get better up front. We got to get better in the back half. I need to get a lot better, but I think lots of good will come from this.
Yeah, how do you assess this season, first right out of the gate for you?
It was pretty unique. It was different, especially for me. I really didn't think I'd get a lot of playing time, and I felt like I was ready when my opportunity came. I wish I would have played better today, but there's nothing you can do about it now. We just need to move forward and just get better this summer.
Thank you.
Devin Fry from KVLY.
Cam, for you from a player's perspective, kind of how much of a motivator is this going to be heading into the fall? The fall season's only a couple months away. How much is this going to motivate you guys?
I think it's going to motivate us a lot. This is the first time since 2016 or 2017 that we haven't won a national championship. So, I think we're going to have a sour taste in our mouth, and we're going to come out ready to play this fall. I feel like we're going to be a really good team this fall. So we just need to continue to get better and lean on one another.
Thanks, Cam.
Eric Peterson from the Forum.
Cam, on that final drive, I think it was on the 3rd and 2 play, there's kind of a little handoff mishap. Was there anything that went wrong on that play, or from your perspective, how did that play unfold?
That was my fault. I was pulling it. It was a keep read. The DN came downfield. He was going after Dom, so I pulled and thought I'd have some space there, and we just bobbled it. There's no other way to put it. That's on me.
And then just, the last 2 drives, you moved it pretty well. I think inside the 20, you ended up with the field goal, and then obviously the last drive, you couldn't settle for a field goal. But was there anything you could put your finger on why you weren't able to maybe get in the end zone on a couple of those last drives?
We just got to execute better. I should have made more accurate throws. Missed quite a few down in the red zone that I wish I had back. But at the end of the day, we just need to execute a little bit better. I thought we had a great game plan, but there's really nothing you can do about it now. So,
Thank you.
Dom Izzo from WDAY.
Cam, I know you're frustrated. Can you describe the frustration, I guess, that you didn't play as well as you were hoping to today?
Yeah, I felt like I was very, very prepared for this game. I spent hours studying the tape. We knew that they were going to play man, and I knew I was going to have to make some throws in crucial moments, and, I just missed. I feel sick to my stomach because I feel like I let our team down. But there's going to be a lot of good that comes from this. I can promise you that. I just feel like just the execution wasn't there. And right now I take all of the blame. I know it's a team game, but if I could take back 4 or 5 throws, I wish I could, but can't do that.
I know you were asked this earlier, but the fact that you have to get ready now for the fall, is that almost maybe a good thing that you have just a couple weeks basically for summer workouts start?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have some time off to get our bodies rested up, but I think losing this late in the season is going to be great to have a quick turnaround. That same feeling is going to sit in our stomach when we have the opening kickoff in the fall.